Well, hello, my beautiful Taurians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with your monthly reading for September 2025. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for all your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations, so if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, I've just brought back the competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So with that in mind, let us get straight to your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Taurians, this is your monthly reading for September. I can't believe we're here already, but here we are. And let's just say, hold on to your hats because astrologically, we have a lot going on. It's a very unique month indeed. Eclipse season is upon us, so things may get a little bit wild. Not one, but two eclipses occur this month. Plus, we also have a second new moon, often called a black moon, in the sign of Virgo, a Virgo portal, if you will, which is very unusual as well. But it also coincides with a partial solar eclipse. So that's a lot going on. And let's unpack this because eclipses, they tend to disrupt the natural order of things and are often perceived as harbingers of change, offering you pivotal opportunities to contemplate radically new directions, hatch new plans, set new goals, or make new promises to yourself and keep those promises too. Now, partnered with the fact that we have officially moved into the sign of Virgo, consider September a bit of a quality control month, where you cast a meticulous eye over your life path to refine or even redefine plans with a very sharp mind, spot anything that doesn't meet your expectations, because holding yourself to higher standards is what it's all about. Decluttering, reorganizing, methodically completing very complex tasks whilst making space for hard-earned rewards to come on in, plus scheduling in quirky fun times and even quenching a thirst for knowledge, which may see you scrolling or even enrolling on workshops, classes, forums, or even learning new skills. Oh, and also you'll be staying on top of your health goals too. Whew, that is a lot, and this month could leave you feeling absolutely exhilarated, but also needing a well-earned massage on a secluded beach somewhere with an iced beverage of choice with your do not disturb on, if only. But at least you'll be very proud of yourself that you've been super productive and will have ticked a lot off your to-do list, awarding you with a sense of achievement. Now, back to those pesky eclipses. I mean, they're not all bad, but we do have a full blood moon eclipse, and that will occur on the 7th or even the 8th, depending on your time zone. Full moons offer closure, forgiveness, and an opportunity to let go, sort through feelings. But partnered with an eclipse, you might just slam that door to the past, lock it, and throw away the key. Emotions tend to run very high, so you may feel a little bit sensitive, but you know, your soul knows what needs to be finally released, and you owe it yourself basically to set yourself free. And the blood moon encourages you to do the shadow work, to assess and deep release any challenging emotions. And if you felt like you've been drifting over the last couple of years or even months, this is a big problem-solving month. because we have that Virgonian influence. It helps you get structured and back on track. But also be mindful this month, because eclipses, they can amplify anxiety or give a platform to your inner critic. Remember that this too shall pass, so be compassionate with your wonderful self. And also animals tend to become very anxious and unsettled too during eclipses. So, we all feel the effects of it. Extra cuddles for pets will be important this month as well. Now, what's wonderful about this particular lunar eclipse is that it trines Jupiter. Jupiter is my favorite planet of good luck, expansion, and opportunity. So expect positive results or outcomes on things that you've worked hard on or invested your time in. Saturn returns to the sign of Pisces. It's currently retrograding. I want you to be aware of that, but it kind of like retrogrades back into the sign of Pisces. So you may revisit and breathe new life into old projects. Karmically, this is a period to look at unresolved issues. They'll come to the surface and be reviewed. And as it is a time to problem solve, you'll be purifying and start with a clean slate. If you want to change any part of your life, this is definitely the month to lead positively with intention, as manifestation frequencies are also higher than usual. Now, the partial solar eclipse, on the 21st or the 22nd, depending on where you reside in which hemisphere. It coincides with the black new moon in Virgo, and I have to give it to you straight. I mean, this particular eclipse isn't as positive as the other one, okay? It doesn't mean it's necessarily bad or negative. However, it may raise tensions collectively, which is why structure will be the key to managing September. Now, in terms of global events, and please fast forward this part if you really don't wish to hear it, September is a very pivotal shift month. We may witness an economical wobble, which harvests very serious conversations around global bankruptcy and draconian ways to replenish governmental purses. As I mentioned before, eclipses are harbingers of change, and these particular eclipses will really steal the show. In ancient times, a blood moon eclipse symbolized the fall of a king or a leader or someone of great influence, so we may see headlining news around this, or even their substitute or body double. I got that energy as I was doing the prep for this reading, so I was like, body double, what? So that's something to keep an eye out for, if that makes sense. And we will certainly continue to see shocking exposés centered around public figures during this time, as their hidden dark side comes to light, questioning their position of influence. Solar eclipses in particular were often interpreted as causing anger, conflict, and uprising. So we may see growing tensions rise globally as people seek to be heard and represented fairly. Eclipses also tend to affect nature in very extreme ways, and we are already witnessing amplified shifts. And this month could see things reach a critical point. We could see a very fiery seismic shift amplifying water-related events. Now, I've been mentioning this for the last year because my guides are saying this is very important to keep mentioning this because, of course, the Earth is shifting. And as these eclipses occur in both the sign of Pisces and Virgo, water and earth, of course, then we may see some sort of change there. Also, we'll see conversations directed around shaking up healthcare systems and implementing new protocols. Critical debates also occurring around unemployment and the advancement of AI or replacement technology will really hit the headlines for the next couple of years. And it will kind of like highlight what a future could look like if technology becomes more celebrated than human talent. And, this will set things in motion to kind of transform and change that course that we seem to be currently on. Now, it's not all doom and gloom, okay? I want you to be aware of that. There's so many levels of energy, okay? Whether it's global energy, personal energy that's connected to, the people around you. So on a personal note, we do have K2 in the sign of Leo, which works on a very wonderful personal level. It'll work hard to see you achieve recognition and gain for past efforts. And remember, Jupiter is cheerleading for you on the sidelines, sending extra luck, willing you to win, and sending extra benevolence until it retrogrades on the 11th of November. So whilst it may feel like outside things are falling apart, it is here that things fall together and they come back stronger. This is a perfect month for you to refine or even introduce rituals where you raise vibrations. Virgonian frequencies encourage you to be in service. Firstly, to yourself, of course, and then to those that you hold dear. And then, of course, outside the world at large. So we can all do our bit and send or spread love and positivity wherever you may be. Be the soul of that place, I say. Shine your light. It starts with the self first. I know it's easier said than done because there's a lot of challenge going on there. But your energy will emanate outwards. And, you know, I always say things like light a candle, play your favorite song. It changes your vibration. Connect to nature. We are all one. And those who seek to divide shall not succeed. Okay, this is a pivotal month for that, so I want you to be aware of it. So let's get to your cards. We have atoms. It's really interesting because when I was preparing your reading, what I do is I light a candle. I do a meditation first. I light the candle and I take the match and I hover it over the water to see the images, and then I put it in the water, and you know, this will disperse the image. But what I saw actually was like little atoms or little balls. What I saw is little bubbles there, kind of like disperse. I wish I'd said it before you got this card, but I didn't, so I can't call it or claim it. But I really feel this card is so important because that's what I saw in the water for you. So this can indicate that you have many projects on the go, many things that you are connecting to, but also it feels like things are coming together. This month in particular. It's number 40 when you reduce it. 4 plus 0, of course, is 4. So that's about solid structures and foundations. But this is a card that highlights that everything is connected. It's almost like this month you're connecting the dots. You're building something that matters. You are literally electric and in a vibe of motion. Okay, so I feel that if you have been stagnant or felt like you've been really working very hard, but you feel like you've been not getting past a certain point, this is going to disperse the blockage. This is going to really help you move forward, especially since we have the Knight of Wands there. This is an exciting card. It means that, you know, you're determined for new adventures. You are unstoppable in your vision, and, you know, you're going to be very active. This is a card that indicates that you're a maverick. So some of you, you know, because you're building something, and you've also got King of Swords energy, this is something that requires your knowledge, your focus. You're a pro at what you do, but this is about you seeking your truth and building something that matters, that is long-standing for you. So I would say a lot of creative projects going on here. Yes, you're going to be very busy this month. I feel like you're going to be unflappable in your energy. You may have been under a lot of pressure recently, but this is the month where you start to see how things are connected and how they are going to start to come together for you. And also I'm being given this energy of like, you know, kind of like personal development and growth. Change is natural. So you may be like looking at your life philosophy because you're focused on your journey. What matters to you? Where are you going? And who is going with you? What projects are going with you? What finances are going with you? You know, this is about seeing the whole vision come to light. And I feel this is about you building for your future. And a lot of you could be building for a new beginning. So this could be that you're getting ready to either move, or you're thinking about changing a job, or you're looking at your current circumstances with friends or family. You're changing your perspective. There's a lot of newness going on here. So it could be that you're trying to look at, it's almost like going to a new destination, no matter what that is for you, because we can go to a new destination in our mind about how we feel about things, but also it can be a physical new destination. And it's like you may be looking this month at what you are set to leave behind or how it will change your life. Remember what you're set to gain rather than what you're set to lose, because I don't see that you're set to really lose anything, because your final card here is the Page of Wands, which is like you're taking this adventure, whatever it is. This is about you being passionate. It's about you on your sense of purpose. And this could mean that you have a new project on the go, or you're launching something, or you have a new idea, or suddenly you know what to do and you're excited about it. It's elevating you in some way. I mean, the Knight of Wands, as this is your protagonist energy, you are a goal setter and a goal getter this month. If you're someone who's in business, this would be a perfect month for you to become like an entrepreneur. You know, be either freelance or set up your own business, strategize and structure, you know, being your own boss. If you're already your own boss, I would say that some of you may be calculating some of the things that you've been connecting to, what drains your energy, what really makes you excited, what's draining your finances. Even if you're not like an entrepreneur or running your own business, this is a month where you may be calculating, what drains your finances. So it could be because you have that Five of Pentacles there. You may be looking at like things that you don't utilize anymore, like subscriptions, or perhaps service providers who've not been providing a service that is up to your standards because of that Virgonian energy. You could decide to cut it off and say, oh, I found a better deal elsewhere. This is a month of reset and restructure, and this is across the board. So you could be looking at like your insurance. You could be finding an alternative company that offers better insurance for your house or life insurance, or for some of you, this could be connected to like your energy bills, or, maybe even banking systems. You may be looking at your accounts this month and saying, okay, you know what? The account that you have dealt with for some time is not really valuing long-standing customers. So you could be like, okay, let's look elsewhere to see if I can get better interest on my money, making your money work for you, because you do have a Five of Pentacles here, and I'm not going to disguise this Five of Pentacles as anything other than it is. This can be that you are financially a little bit worried about either your economy or perhaps your personal circumstances, or you're just looking at where you feel like you could cut back in order to save. Doesn't mean that, there's anything negative here. It can be, because this is a very positive card and we got new beginnings, it can be that you're like looking at your finances in a different way. Like you're looking at new apps, perhaps, to be more connected to your finances. So you can dip in occasionally and, or even more often, and see like what you've spent. Because sometimes, of course, if you've got like a debit card and you're using it, or cash, whatever it is, it can be sometimes life is very busy. It's hard to keep track of what you're spending or your finances. And I just feel with these two cards, it's like this figure here is off to plant wheat. Okay, or has a stalk of wheat, something that is abundant there. And it can be that you're looking at ways to, keep on top of your finances, looking at the growth of your finances. Whenever you look at a little pot of money that you've managed to save, it gives you this like excited energy to keep building that, and you have the building card. So I feel like you're building on, your resources that you have already. Something definitely comes to fruition or is ripe for the picking, as it were, this month for you. But it's like you're on to the next. It's like, how can I, make something that perhaps has not been working for you in some way? How can you make it better? And do you like cut it short? Do you decide, actually, I'm going to take my business elsewhere, or I'm taking my services elsewhere? I mean, this figure is like, you know what? I'm turning my back to a past situation, moving forward abundantly. Okay. And, there is a lot of growth around this figure. So I feel there could be a lot of newness for you. And, sometimes, especially in Tarot, it's like, oh, there's a new beginning. And you're like, how can it be a new beginning? Because I'm just in the same position. But there's a lot of new things that you could be connected to, like upgrading your life, your cell phone, upgrading, your banking in some way. It could be that you are having a new idea about a money-making idea. It could be that there is this energy with that Five of Pentacles. This is really about you looking at the alternative. And, the Five of Pentacles can be that the alternative path, it's very fruitful or it's very exciting, but you may be a little bit worried, because the Five of Pentacles can be a little bit worried that, you are unsure of the direction and what it holds, but you'll never know unless you embrace it. So I feel this is a big month for you to like have alternative thinking vibes. And I see a lot of success in this, because look, you have beginnings east here, and you have the light, the sun. This figure is actually walking off. The sun is actually above this figure if you look at the shadow on that figure there. So I feel this is about you following your path, shining your light, and really positive outcomes. It feels like you're like forging new landscapes, as it were, this month, especially as you see this big ball of light there. It's creating solid rock, when it cools down. So I feel you could be connected to projects that, are exciting, that you're passionate about, because this is about you leading with passion and forging a way, as it were, and then it becomes solid. So I feel this is a big building month for you there on so many different levels. Now, don't forget your 5th house is influencing you at the end of the month there. So a lot of you could be super busy trying to work towards having some time off if you're in a career, or it can be that you're going to be a little bit more sociable at the end of the month there, because that is all about the pursuit of pleasure. This is a month where you're like, I have hopes, dreams, and wishes, right? Because your 11th house is influencing you at the beginning of the month, and that's about your manifestations. It's, about you setting an intention and then watching the universe deliver people or opportunity to help you with your vision. So I feel this is a big month for progress for you. And yes, you may feel exhausted or drained, but I feel that you're going to get so much accomplished that you feel quite proud of yourself there as well. And, this is a desire to connect. So if you are in a career, you're definitely going to be a little bit more sociable or networking, or even finding events or opportunities to actually frequent to meet like-minded individuals. And if you're not in a business, or you're not thinking in terms of your career this month, this could be that you want to get more involved in the community. So you may try a new hobby, or some sort of new activity or a new group of people that you really align with. I mean, this beginnings east, some of you may literally be relocating or moving east, but there's a big portal and it looks like it's stepping into the sun. So I feel this is about you going where you feel happy, finding more balance in your life. King of Swords, this is the strategy. It's like, okay, I'm excited about my plans. I'm in strategy mode. You're calculating something there, and calculating can be across the board. It can be you calculating finances, of course, but it can be you calculating your plans. You're raring to go, but it requires a plan. It requires your attention, and you're owning your truth. So I feel a lot of you could also be traveling this month, because you have a lot of travel cards here. So you could be like tying up loose ends, getting everything in order, trying to get ahead of yourself, as it were, so that you can take a vacation. But what I see here as well is there is this energy of like owning your time, being organized, being structured, being serious, maybe even being stricter with yourself when it comes to where you feel like there is a drain in your life. That can be an energy vampire, because you have a lot of energy cards here. So it could be that you're protecting your inner peace, so that you can actually remove yourself from anyone who's trying to control you, micromanage you, even if you're in like a job where there is someone in a position of authority there. The Hierophant can actually be about the hierarchy, someone in a hierarchical position trying to interfere, or maybe even like surveil what you're looking at, because I'm getting surveillance cameras right now. So it could be they're trying to micromanage, but I feel like you're not allowing this to affect you, because it's almost like this person, if you are in a job and you have a boss who's doing this to you, there's this energy of like you looking past their position. They may be a little bit worried that you are wanting their position because you're so good at what you do. These two cards, you've got the passion, you've got the knowledge, you've got the talent, you're raring to go, you're stepping up to the next level in your life. And there's someone here who feels like you're a threat to their position or to their energy. It's like you're doing more than they are, or you do it better than they do. And they feel they need to keep an eye on you, because this is literally like someone keeping an eye on you. So it can be that you're like, I don't want your position. I want past your position. I'm going to surpass you in this. And you're not being like all bravado and ego about it. You just know who you are. You know your skill set, you know what you're capable of. And I feel like you're going to places that this person cannot reach at this time, because you're willing to go above and beyond. So I feel here that there could be, a new role or new position. And if some of you have been out of work and are looking for a new position, I do see some opportunities coming up for you. But 1, 2, 3, you could even be looking at 4 roles where you're like putting your resume out for some, but it's almost like I see 2 responses. So you may feel like 2 of your applications fall on like silence, radio silence, no one reaching back. But 2, I feel there is movement. And one of them, actually, I'm seeing either you turn it down or it doesn't go the way you hope for. But actually, the one you really want is the one that you get, okay? There's an exciting new position here. Page of Wands is an energy of like perhaps migrating your skills and taking yourself into a different sector. It's something that, you know, you're going to be passionate about. It feels like you're learning new things as well. You have a lot of skills. You're already very established, but I feel like you're learning as you go. And also I feel like your finances will increase in this. But Page of Wands energy is an indication that, you know, it comes out of the blue. You were not expecting to hear from this because it'll have been a while. You may even have thought that perhaps some of the silence after an interview, it didn't go your way. You've kind of like chalked it up to, oh, I didn't get that. And also, when you went for the role or when you go for the role, because I feel this happens in September for you, it can be that you feel you don't have something on your resume that they require as a skill set, or you may feel there's someone else who's more qualified or, you know, has more experience in a certain sector. I mean, you're very qualified and very experienced, but there may be something. It could be connected to technology or data or something like that there, but actually you're the person for the role, okay? And I feel it's very important to recognize what you have to offer that other people do not, because you're in the room for a reason. They love your resume. They're okay with, you know, you not knowing everything. They're happy to train you. They just want to know who you are and whether they can get on with you. And you're someone who is very likable. You're someone who has a lot of knowledge to back it up. It's like you're the full package, and anything else can come after. Okay, so I do see you getting a new role there, a new beginning. And for some of you, it may be east of where you live. It could be that you're traveling east, but I feel there's a lot of success there. Now, also, I feel the Knight of Wands energy is all about energy levels, of course. So it can be that this month you are paying close attention to food substances that help you with energy, especially brain health there with that King of Swords energy. This can be that you discover something that helps you have clarity. It could be just a certain diet, or it could be that you're cutting something out, because I feel more than anything with that Five of Pentacles, you're cutting something out. Something is like not hitting in the same way, or just doesn't taste the same, or just doesn't feel the same. And you may be like, nah, I don't need that anymore. So you're cutting it out. So I feel a lot of you could be just doing a bit of a declutter, body, mind, and soul. But at the same time, I see in this energy, you cutting out something that perhaps you have thought about cutting out for a long time, okay? And it may be something that's bloating you or giving you a reaction in some way. Now, we do have creation, water, okay? A lot of you, if you're taking a bath or a shower, you know, you're going to have a lot of ideas connected to water. Even if you're going on a vacation that's connected to water in some way, this is going to help you with ideas and visions of your future. It's just going to come naturally. You don't even need to force this. But also, coming back to the health thing, because this is something that's relevant my guides are giving me, just be mindful of your water levels to stay on top of hydration this month, because I feel a lot of you are so connected to your projects and so busy. I mean, your cards are telling me you're super busy, that you could forget about water intake. So just be mindful of that. But this card is number 29. When you reduce it, of course, 2 plus 9 is 11, which is a soul path energy. So this is about being in the flow and moving forward with confidence, being true to your emotions. You know, don't stifle any emotion. Every emotion in our body is there for a reason. It helps us reset. It helps us recalibrate and remain in balance. If you kind of like push anything down or push anything to the side and think, I'll deal with that later, it normally builds up and comes back at the most inconvenient moment. So this is a month where everything gets processed. But this card here is an energy of you know, not allowing things to become stagnant. And you have two cards, the building card there with the atoms and the water card, which is basically you looking at where you're feeling stuck in life and where you could do with a little bit more movement to get back in the flow. So that's what this month is all about for you. So for example, if you're someone who's looking for love, I mean, you're not focused here on love in particular, but if you are wanting to be in love and find your soulmate, this could be that you're getting a little bit more active to put yourself in positions to meet new people or do hobbies or creative endeavors or join chat forums or even get on online dating if that's something you're interested in. Not everybody is, of course, but it can be that you are deciding to get moving, to take action on something. If you feel perhaps your career has remained stagnant for a little while and you've reached a certain plateau, because a lot of you are very established at what you do, and I feel there's a desire for something new. So it could be that you're taking on new clients, new projects, new ways of working, or taking yourself elsewhere. You may be putting your resume out there to find new opportunities, and I definitely see that there are a lot of new opportunities there. As I mentioned, no matter who you are, whether you're looking for a role, it feels like one gets let go, or one doesn't go the way you hope for. That's because the universe is pointing you in a better direction, something that is more aligned with your hopes, dreams, and wishes there. But I would say a highly creative month where you're back in the flow. You know, if you are thinking about retirement, this could be that you are building for your future, and you may be thinking about where you want to settle when you're retired, but also, you know, you may be worried about finances because of the economic climate right now, and you're just doing your bit to remain on top of those, like 401k pension goals at this time. And I feel this could be that you are looking at areas where, you know, your money goes a long way, for example. And if you are comfortable when it comes to your finances regarding retirement, it can be that you're looking at not just retirement home, or, you know, a property abroad that you could retire in. You know, you could be looking at countries or areas that you feel called to be. And if you are retired right now, you know, there may be this energy of you traveling to a new environment or a new place with the people that you really care about. Because, of course, we have 3 people here. So it could be 3 of you traveling, or maybe you and your bestie traveling. And with the 5 of Pentacles energy, this could be that, you know, you're taking a portion of your finances to pay for a well-earned break or some travel there, okay? Because it looks like some of you may be thinking about purchasing something, and it leaves a little bit of a dent in your financial purse, as it were. So I feel a lot of you, though, are aware of this. So I will pull a card on that 5 of Pentacles just to kind of see what that's about. But I feel more than anything, it's kind of like, you know, you getting paid a certain amount of money for the month, and then with that 5 of Pentacles, of course, a lot of it goes off on bills, repayment plans, mortgages, and, you know, basically the stuff that we need to have to live. We have that Hierophant energy. You know, the Hierophant is in the resistance position at first, which is actually quite exciting considering the cards that you've got, because this is about you being a maverick. It's like there's a structure when you have the Hierophant. This is something that's always been happening, okay, throughout the whole of time or the whole of your life, for example, and you're breaking free from that. You're like, no, I want to do something different. So I feel there is this desire to kind of like launch yourself into new areas. I mean, this could even be as simple as like you have a certain route to a community center or to your work or to visit your family, and you're like, you know what, I want to take a different route, or I want to try a different restaurant across town, or something new pops up that you're interested in. It just feels like you're searching for new, and it's going to really help inform you. Now, Page of Swords, it's in the resistance position at first. I have to honor the fact that this could be a very challenging conversation that you have with a person mid-month. Okay, this is someone who, no matter how much you kind of try to show them your point of view, or that, you know better. I mean, there's no right or wrong way, but it could be that you have experience because you have this King of Swords energy in your energy. So Page of Swords means someone who's less experienced. So I would say that, you know, you may have a conversation with a person who you try to help them, and no matter how you try to help them, they're really not seeing it, okay? Sometimes you just cannot argue with a person, or you cannot advise a person who just doesn't want to hear, okay? But in time, that person will come back and say, you're right. Now, you're not actually going to be like, haha, I was right. I feel you were just giving your opinion on something. This could be like, if you're a parent, it could be a teenager, for example, or a child. Could also be like a friend or a sibling or a parent. You know, it could be that you are like knowledgeable about a certain situation. It could even be your boss or a neighbor, for example, or a landlord. You know, it could be someone that you have a conversation with that you have a lot of knowledge on, and you give your advice or your opinion on something, and they don't take it. And you're like, oh, okay. And This person is going to regret not taking it, but at the same time, it highlights that if you give advice or your opinion next time, this person is going to really value it because they realize you were right on something, okay? Now, also, I feel the Page of Swords is an energy of digging a little bit deeper, okay, on an idea or a structure. So it could be that something you're building, whether it's generational wealth or whether it is you're building up to some sort of move. This is you investigating. So if you're thinking about relocating, you could be like on the internet checking out like house prices or, you know, new neighborhoods, things like that. I feel this is all about you kind of like looking at the structure, maintaining and sustaining what you do already in life. Like sometimes months are the same, month to month to month, but there could be like nuances or a little bit of differences going on there. But I feel a lot of you, this is about discovering new ways to make your life more streamlined or more in the flow. Now we have the sun. This is the outcome energy, the light. So this is all about you on a personal level going through a major awakening, looking at things that perhaps have remained stagnant or not excited you, or if you felt like your spark was missing, or you felt that things that you do are just not hitting in the same way. This could be that you're finding your passion to discover a new way of doing something. But this is also you shining your light, having more energy, you know, forging new landscapes, and I would say having a lot more energy. You're getting back into balance. So this could be through diet-related endeavors or even being more active, because I feel a lot of you are promising yourself to be more active this month. I actually feel like you're wearing many hats and you are like doing many things this month, and it may feel exhausting, but I do feel, looking at the energy, it is exhilarating there as well. I'm getting an energy as well of some of you meeting a new person. This could be a friend for life. Okay, if you're looking for love, this could also be that you meet a new person who initially enters into your life in the way of a friendship, but there's a spark, there's a chemistry. Okay, so I would say give it time. It will develop into something a little bit more solid when it comes to a relationship, but I feel more than anything you're following your passions and you're looking at your direction this month. In terms of timekeeping, because I'm being given this energy of having to deliver something on time, if you're getting deliveries, I mean, looking at the energy there, you may have to go searching for a delivery that's delayed. You may have to reach out to customer services or, you know, follow up on something that's coming through there as well. But if you're delivering something yourself, whether it's a project or a thesis or whether it is an application for something, because a lot of you could be applying for something at this time, something new, I feel like you may have to wait or even chase it to see if it's got lost in the system. I feel like it's sitting on someone's desk, someone who has to sign it off, someone who's in a like high-ranking position, okay? So if that's you, you've applied for something and it's delayed or you've been waiting a long time, give it a little nudge, just call up about it, because I feel it's sitting on someone who is actually in a high-ranking position, as I said, and it's sitting on their desk. And I feel like they may have gone away briefly on a vacation or a trip, something to do with their family anyway, I can see that there. But when they've come back, they've just put some papers on top of other ones, and it's almost like they didn't mean to take this wedge of paper and put it on top of some applications or some, yeah, it just feels like paperwork on top of, and it's like they're now like not realizing that they need to focus on the ones that need to be signed off at the bottom. So it's an error, but, you know, obviously I feel like they were not paying attention at the time. So that's coming through there. So you may need to chase something there. But we have beginnings east. I mean, when you have the sun energy and you have, you know, the beginnings east, it feels like something wonderful and new and exciting is there. I feel like the sun energy is you currently being grateful for everything that you have right now. And every day brings a new possibility. And you're trying to take things one day at a time. You've been under a lot of pressure, I feel, because, you know, if you think about this molten lava, it's like at the core of you, things may have been building up. You know, you're trying to hold it all together. You're exhausted and you're trying to do a lot of things, but it feels like it's worth it. It feels like the breakthrough is going to happen for you. And I feel also that, you know, it just makes you feel a little bit more back into balance. You're concentrating on building something that's, you know, going to help you with your health, but also with your mental well-being. your career, your family in some way. And I feel like you are the light. You are the strong person at the very core of everything that is happening around you. And, number 3 is Empress energy. So this definitely means that you're nourishing yourself in a different way. But nourishment comes in many different forms. Of course, there's things that we watch. The light is to see. So it can be that things that you watch can change your mood. Things that you listen to change your mood. Music, of course, changes a mood instantly. But it's not just about how you inform your body in that way. It can also be about the structure in your life. Sometimes, when you're doing something on a repetitive cycle, it means you're pro at what you're doing. It means you're structured. It means you have a certain way of doing something. You're comfortable with that. But sometimes we get a little bit frustrated or in a funk, as it were, and we need to find more exciting things or more passionate things or change our perspective in order to keep things exciting, and the world right now, there's a lot of pressure. Structure is necessary. It just feels like people or maybe even environments have in some way felt really broken down and tired and lost the sparkle. So I feel like this month you are trying to bring that sparkle in order to inform, your energy levels and just how you feel about stuff. I feel there's this desire to get out there and do new things. And with beginnings east, this is an energy of like a new dawn is breaking for you. You're letting go of the old to embrace the new. You're flowing forward without that heaviness or that anxiety. Even though there's so many layers to life that you're aware of, I feel like new ways are calling to you to be your best self and to connect to the exciting things that bring you joy. And, also, these 2 cards can highlight that, you're bringing a new voice to things. You're not resisting changes. You're trying to flow with these changes that are going to be really positive for you. But also we have, one person opening a portal, and then there's 2 people watching the sun. So this could be you looking at who's your ride or die, who's with you, who's, going to be flowing forward with you and your abundance and your future. But also if you're looking for love, I feel there could be some dates, some romance going on there, but it starts with that spark. Okay. Passion and being excited about your life actually is an aphrodisiac. When you're excited about your life, you are like a magnet. People are drawn towards you. So I feel this is about you kind of getting excited about your life there. Now, let's pull a card on the 5 of Pentacles. I would say all of this energy, because you're super busy, I would be a little bit mindful of your immune system. This could be like a seasonal cold or a little bit of unwellness there. Just because you're exhausted. That's the energy I've got coming from this straight away. But, the 5 of Pentacles actually means an overlooked treasure. So a lot of you could return to a project and breathe new life into it. But also I feel this is you looking at the alternative way of living in some way. Because as you see here, it's like someone has literally ripped down a screen to highlight what is dead wood in your life. So you're just looking at that in general. What doesn't feel right in your life anymore? As we start to ascend, we start to realize friendships are evolving. The way we feel about certain things is evolving. Like as I started to spiritually evolve even higher in frequencies, my favorite foods were like, oh, I don't really want that anymore. Or it's not making me feel good anymore, So you start to notice a sensitivity about you. So I feel with that 5 of Pentacles, you're kind of like looking in that kind of direction, like, oh, that doesn't hit in the same way anymore. It just feels like I don't want it anymore. So you may be just moving on from certain situations or people or pathways. I mean, we've even got a 5 of Wands here. A lot of you are removing yourself from conflict. You're trying to challenge yourself in new ways to break free from a cycle repeat or a structure that just feels like it's heavy right now. Sometimes we have to acknowledge that when we hit a brick wall or things feel heavy, it's because we have not really noticed or highlighted something that we need to fully let go of that can lighten us. So I feel this is about you forging a new way and removing something that has been present for a long time that you felt is a blockage. Okay. Also, I'm picking up very strong energy. Some of you may challenge yourself with a course of learning, maybe something that is downloaded, or it may be something that's connected to language skills there as well. That's coming through. I feel like you're going to make a lot of progress on that. 5 of Wands is interesting because Five of Wands, if you know the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot, I mean, I love this card because there's a butterfly and it highlights change. But, you know, the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot highlights five figures all coming together with a wand, and it looks really clumsy, but they're making a star. And they're nearly there. So it can be that you're having a gear shift this month and it feels really clunky, but it's all going to come together. And that's what I'm feeling there for you. But also it could be that if you feel there's interference or people are trying to kind of like micromanage you or trying to tell you, no, don't do it this way, do it that way, you're removing yourself, you're breaking free because you just feel like you should never really take advice from anyone who's not really walked in your shoes or has done what you're trying to do. So I feel this is about you trying to challenge yourself in new ways. And of course, you know, Five of Wands is challenges, it's obstacles, it's, you know, trying to break free from something, and it's hard. So whatever it is you're trying to build right now, it is going to come together. And there is a breakthrough for you at the end of September. I would say there's some really good news. Pages bring like news. So I feel this is some exciting news that comes in, something that you're really like excited to accomplish. So if you are going through a test or you've had a test, a physical one, this could be you passing, you know, or if you have children, for example, this could be a month where results come on in or you celebrate, or perhaps, you know, there's an energy of like celebrating results and then opening like a whole portal of change and opportunity for you. So if you're taking a driving test or maybe it's you're being tested on your knowledge there in some way, I see you getting really great grades and being excited about the next part of your path and purpose there. And if you just feel like you've been tested in life in general, I feel this is an indication that it was worth it because now the path is clear and there's abundant times ahead there as well. Now, Page of Wands, of course, is an energy of like being free-spirited. So this could be that you're working really hard to get ahead of yourself, as I mentioned, in order to go off and travel or explore. But this is also creative expression and adventure. So I feel this is about looking at life in a different way and kind of trying to enjoy the moment. I feel a lot of you as well are trying to reinforce your belief system, your life philosophy there, and be thinking a different way, as it were, about like life and people and situations and how they interact. You know, I'm really getting a strong sense from your whole reading, like there's more to life than this. So now you're in search of that. So it could be that you have a spiritual breakthrough. If you're like meditating at this time, because this is a strong meditation card, it could be that suddenly you have a major breakthrough in meditating. It could be that you see images. You start to elevate, because I'm seeing a lot of upgrade energy here for you as well. Okay. Downloading courses. I see a lot of that. You may be even like doing one thing and challenging yourself to learn new skills, maybe even purchase new tools. You're definitely utilizing time management and setting yourself realistic deadlines. Also, because we have the King of Swords there, you may be trying to really improve your communication skills with the people around you. But remember, you can give your advice. You can tell people, look, I've been there. I did that. This is how it went. These are your options. And they can still ignore your advice and do something totally opposite that is going to lead them in, you know, a challenging direction. You can just be there for that person and be like, okay, you know what? Now you just got to move on from this point. But next time, if you need some advice, I'm here for you. Being that person who says, I told you so, is going to kind of like prevent that person from coming back because they knew that you had some good advice. They should have taken it. And now they may feel like you're gloating that, you know, you were right and they were wrong. It's better to say, look, I'm here to support. You know, it's your decision. You have your choices. You have to make your own way. But this is how it went down for me. These were my options. I can give you advice from my perspective. But if you don't want to take it, you don't have to. And that's more likely to have someone say, okay, let's explore it. And I feel like you're in a very explorative mode right now as well. You're having courage. Glad to see that courage card come out there. You're having the courage to go after your dreams, goals, or your visions. And look, I mean, these three cards even highlight the whole of your reading. It says courage, soul mission, and breakthrough. As I said, you have a breakthrough at the end of September there for you. And this comes in the form of some really good news. So if you've been waiting for any news, especially, you know, with that Five of Pentacles. For some of you, it could be health news. It could be, you know, you get some sort of letter or news that indicates the path, the next steps, and you're excited to move forward on it. Or it can be a way to manage something. If you suffer from like inflammation and things like that, it could be that you find a way to manage it, or a healthcare practitioner helps you to manage symptoms in a more efficient way that gives you like a new lease of life. Okay, so that could come through there as well. I'm being given strong energy of retirement as well here. So I feel like new neighborhood or new groups of people, new hobbies. And I just heard a new win. So I have to give you what I got there, whether you're retired or not. I'm not sure whether that message is for that. I'm just being given like a new win. So I'll leave that there. But your final cards, we have Courage, 333. These may be numbers that you'll see over the next coming weeks or months there. It says, you are granted the courage to take bold strides forward. I mean, all of your cards say that. This is the time to leave behind the comfort of the familiar, to rise above fear, and to seize the opportunities that lay ahead. Your perspective holds the power to transform any situation into a progressive step on your journey. I did mention that, you know, you may be just looking at things in a new way, and that is often half the battle because it's about our perception. And we've got number 99. So, soul mission, you have been brought here for a reason amidst the infinite possibilities and despite all odds. When you align with your true calling, your life takes on new meaning and you feel a sense of direction. Have faith in your journey and trust that the universe is guiding you towards your true path. I mean, you have a lot of truth cards here. King of Swords, Page of Swords, and the Hierophant is about having faith on your path, because I feel like you're on the right one, but you may be just like exploring. Someone said to me recently that I thought was amazing. They said that they'd done many things in their life. They were sampling the buffet of life. And I was like, wow, wow. I mean, if I look back on my past, okay, because so many things, they went well, they didn't go well, they went really badly. You know, we're navigating that wave of life, right? And we just have to do what we can with the circumstances that we have. And then I thought, actually, if I change my perspective and think, rather than, you know, sometimes I won at life, sometimes I really lost, sometimes I was devastated, maybe I was just sampling the buffet of life. And there's going to be some things on that table that you're like, ooh, oh, well, I won't go back to that. What is that? I'm not going to do it. Other things like, ooh, that's really nice. I want to do more of that. I'm going to have more of it. So I thought it was really interesting, and I feel a lot of you may be like looking at life right now like, okay, what do I want on my buffet of life, right? So we've got 1212 there as well. You're on a cusp of a significant breakthrough in your life after a period of stagnation. Oh my gosh, everything is connected. This whole reading, your cards are all about stagnation, or looking at structures that have kept you feeling like you're at a certain level and you want to break free from that. For example, if you're really shy and you find it really hard to meet new people, it can be that you have a significant breakthrough through doing something that you're excited about, a hobby or something that you want to submerge yourself in. I also see an invitation to something coming in as well for you there. Your willingness to grow is all the energy you need at this moment in time. Set new goals and live them out. Opportunities will come to you effortlessly if you open yourself to growth and new possibilities. I mean, boom, that is your reading all over for the month of September. So, yeah, I feel there's some exciting things coming your way, and you're up for it. You're open to it. So I'm just going to go and get a trinket or rune before we close. Okay, so we have the turtle, okay? So that is all about slow and steady progress. But remember, the turtle wins the race. Slow and steady wins the race. So that is a win. But also, the turtle has a shell on its back for protection, of course. And it can also be that some of you are thinking about moving home. Maybe it's a slow process at this moment in time. If you're trying to sell a property, I am being given this energy that, and I hate giving you this message, okay? So this may not apply to everybody. It's like 10% energy. If you're trying to sell a home, there may be like a process that starts to occur and then suddenly someone backs out. Okay, I hate giving you that message. I don't want you to worry about it because it feels like it's going to be replaced with people who want to offer a little bit more money. So that's coming through there as well. Okay, so I just had to mention that there. But sometimes we feel like progress is slow. This is going to be a month where progress is quicker, but sometimes when you're in the midst of the activity, the flow, you cannot see the progress. This is the month that you're going to see the progress and how things are starting to change for you, okay? So I'll leave it there, my beautiful Taurians. I hope something resonates. If you'd like to be with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put a candle emoji in the comments box below. And if you don't have access to a candle emoji, then just write the word candle, of course, and I will put everybody into the mix, and then my guides will bring me to one person's name, and I will announce the winner at the end of September. Now, you have to be subscribed to the channel because, unfortunately, I can't find your name if you're not subscribed to the channel. I don't know why the algorithm is like that, but I've tried to find people's names and can't, find them. So I've had to, put a message out there to try and discover them and get them to subscribe before I can find them and give them their reading. Now, this is not just a ploy for me to get more subscribers. If you don't win, you can just unsubscribe. It costs nothing to subscribe, okay? All you have to do is just press that subscribe button and, I will be able to find your name if my guides bring me to your name, okay? So I just want you to be aware of that. Thank you so much, my beautiful Taurians, and love and light.